If you're a photographer, videographer, YouTuber, or hobbyist, you know how expensive photo gear can be. And in a lot of cases, it makes sense to search for used gear and save some bucks, or try out a new piece of gear without having to lay out a lot of cash. And one of the best ways to do that is on eBay. In this video, I'll give you 5 tips on how to make better buying decisions while saving some money at the same time when buying used gear on eBay. Hi, I'm Ison Phillips, and on this channel I do tech reviews, tips, and tutorials on audio, video, and still photography. So if that's something you're into, click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the bell notifications so you won't miss future videos. Although there are plenty of options out there for buying used gear, I still think eBay is one of the best because of all the protections they give you against getting scammed. If you pay with PayPal, your purchase is fully covered. So if you don't receive the item you paid for, or the item you receive is damaged, or whatever the reason, they can recover the cost, the full cost of the item, plus the shipping cost for you. Now you won't get that on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, plus you don't have to go out somewhere and meet a stranger face to face. So if you don't have an eBay account and a PayPal account, that's the first thing you need to do is set up both of those accounts. Tip number 1 is to always check on the seller's feedback history, as well as how long they've been selling on eBay. Just click on the seller's name and you can see the recent feedback responses they've received. You can check on positive, neutral, and negative responses they've received within the last 6 months. If you see a negative in there, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as the overwhelming number of responses are positive. This is an example of a seller that I've dealt with in the past, Robert's Camera Store. As you can see, they have a listing for a Canon EOS Rebel SL1 for $241.93, and they do accept offers on that. Now, if you want to check on their feedback, all you got to do is go over here to where their name is, Robert's Camera, and click on that name. And you'll see the feedback response page. And if you want to see the full feedback history, then you just need to click right there, see all feedback. And there you can see the feedback. Now, if you're looking at their feedback ratings for the last month, they sold 1,403 items that were given a positive response. Neutral, they had 6, and they had 5 negatives. Considering the amount of merchandise that they sold, 5 negatives is not bad. Now, if you want to check their feedback, go over here to the period and just click like 6 months. And then you can just check rating type, negative, and you can see what the negative comments were and the negative feedback. Some of these I noticed that they gave negative feedback without contacting the seller. So one thing you want to always keep in mind, if you have a negative experience with a seller, contact the seller first. In some of these cases, they just left negative feedback and the seller came back and corrected their problem. So contact the seller first always. If the seller refuses to cooperate with you, then you can make a claim through PayPal. Tip number 2 is to go for buy it now items rather than an auction. With an auction, you can get caught up in a bidding competition frenzy and wind up paying way more than you wanted to for an item. Or you could possibly get a great deal. It's just a crapshoot. But with a buy it now, you know exactly what the price is. And if you've compared it to a new one, you know whether or not you're going to get a good deal. Tip number 3, and this is a big one. Always check to see if the seller is taking offers. If you know you want to buy this item, always make an offer first, especially if that item has been out there for a long time. That seller is probably eager to close that sale. But keep in mind, they have limits on what offers they will accept. They may set a limit, and if you offer below that limit, that automatically will be rejected. So just try to make a reasonable offer. I always try to save at least $10 to $20, and usually that offer gets accepted, and that's $10 to $20 that I didn't have to pay. Tip number 4 is to always read the full description. An unusually low price may indicate some damage to the item. For example, a lens may have scratches or fungus on the elements of the lens, and you won't see that if you just read the heading of the listing. Also, look at the photographs and enlarge them for detail, and make sure the item is as described. Tip number 5, and this is a really good one. Look for manufacturers or retail stores that are selling refurbished or open box items. These can be incredibly good deals. And most of the time these items are demos or returns that are in like new condition, but they can't be sold as new. But they include all the original packaging and accessories just like a brand new item at an incredibly good price. This is an example of an item that I recently purchased on eBay. It's the Moza Mini MX smartphone gimbal. Now this gimbal normally sells for about $89.95 retail, or sometimes you can even find it for $79.95. As you can see, it's a refurbished item and the seller is offering it for $50, and they are accepting offers. Now I made an offer of $40 and they accepted it. And I got the item in about 3 or 4 days, just like they said, free 4-day shipping. And when it arrived, just like they described, it was in like new condition, and it had the original packaging and all the original accessories, just like a brand new item. This is just an example of how much money you can save when you look for a refurbished or open box item on eBay. If you found these tips helpful, give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be safe, and we will see you in the next video.